I have been working through the the prologue of Hammurapi, looking at the Akkadian and looking at the normalization uh, of the Akkadian and looking at the grammar inductively. Basically, the transliteration comes from Burger, the Babylonische Assyrische Leisurestuck, and I worked my way through several of these lines, and now we're up to line, basically, one second here, line 50 and following. But I'd like to just review where we've been. So I'll read the Akkadian, translate it, because I've already done the grammar, and then I'll pick up in line 50. And I'm following the outline in terms of line or section, however you want to call it, of what we have in Borger. So we begin. Inu anan serum shar ananaki, that is, when Anu, the exalted king of the Anunnaki, and Elil Bel Shammai, that is, and Elil, Lord of heaven, U Ersetim, Lord of heaven and earth. We've already done the grammar, so I'm just sort of reading through it to catch up to where we were. Sha'im, Shi'amu, Shimat, that is the one who determines the destinies, Matim, of the land. Ana Dinger Marduk, that is for Marduk, or the Sumerian Amar with the period Utu, which is Marduk from Sumerian, and then in Akkadian Marduk. Marim Reshtim, that is the son, the firstborn, Shah Dinger Ea, of Ea. And I'm doing it very literally, word by word. Then Dinger Alilu, that is Alilu, the Enlil functions Kishat Nishi, over the totality of mankind, Ishemushum, he established for him. In Igigi, that is, among the Igigi. Usharbi Ushu Babilam, that is, and he made him great. He made him great, or made him great. Babylon, Shum Shu Serim, or Seram, Babylon, by its exalted name, Ibiu, that is, he named Babylon by its exalted name. And then in Kivratim, Usha Terushu, in the world, he caused to be great. That is, he caused Babylon to be great. Inna Libishu Sarutam Diratam, in its interior, a perpetual kingship. A kingdom, I should say, perpetual, Shakima Shamei U Ersetim, that is, which is as heaven and earth. Ish Dasha, its foundation, Shur Shuda, that is, are firmly founded. Ukinushum, he established for him. Inumishu, in those days, then Hammurapi, Rabam Nadam, that is the great prince, the devout prince, Palich Ili Yati, the one who fears the gods, that is me, Hammurapi saying, Misharam Inamatim Ana Shupim, that is justice in the land to make visible. He wanted to make visible that the Ragam Utsinam, that the wicked and the evil, Ana Hulukim, to not to destroy, or to destroy, that the wicked and the evil to destroy. So his laws are to have that effect, he's saying. Then Danum in Sham, that is the strong, the weak, Ana la Habalim, or Habalim, not, or to literally not do wrong or oppress, that the strong would not oppress the weak. Kima Dinger Shamash, as Shamash Anat Salmat Kakadim, as Shamash to the black of heads, to the black heads of heads, Watsim, that is to go out, Watsim from Watsu, we talked about this, Watsimma, to go out, and Matim Nuwarim, that is, and to make bright or illuminate the land. That is, his laws are to do that. Anum u dinger ilil, Anum and Enlil, Anashirnishi, for the welfare of the people, to beam, that is, to actually make good my name. Shumi, they called, that is, they called my name, to make good. And we have Nabu, that is Shumi, Ibu, my name, they called. Hammurapi, and now this is where I'm picking up where I left off, and that is in line 50, and we'll be going to line 65. So it reads, Ha'amurapi, or Hammurapi, from transliteration to normalization, Hammurapi Re'um, the shepherd, Nibit, nominated. And notice Re'um means shepherd, and this is on section or line 51. And my mind goes to Adonai Ro'i, the Lord is my shepherd in Hebrew, from the Hebrew word to shepherd. So there's a sort of a cognate comparison here. And as a Christian minister, my mind goes to John 10, where Jesus speaks. He said, I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd gives his life for the people. Very different than Hammurabi, who basically is elevating his own greatness here. But then as we move on, the shepherd nominated Nibit, Hammurabi, the nominated shepherd, or the shepherd nominated. And the word here, Nibit, then normalized as Nibit, is I'm taking it as an adjective nominated by a deity. So Hammurapi is the shepherd of the people, nominated by a deity of, or nominated, I should say, of Dinger Enlil. Notice Enlil, we have in the Sumerian a capital E-N period L-I-L. And Elil in Akkadian, this is the word or the god, the lord of the wind, chief god of the Sumerian pantheon, city god of Nippur, son of Anu. And he also conferred the authority and the sovereignty of Elilship onto the other gods. So nominated of Elil, he is saying, Anaku, that is, I am nominated from or by Elil to do what? Notice Mukamer. Mukamer becoming Mukamer. This is a D, as I'm understanding it, a D participle masculine singular from Kamaru, to pile up or to accumulate. That is, I am to accumulate or pile up nu ukshim. Nukshim is from nukshu, to pile up abundance. And here, with the I, to pile up of abundance. I'm taking this as a genitive singular with the e ending, to pile up of abundance and or of fruitfulness. And then furthermore, tu ukdim, tukdim, that is abundance and of plenty. Again, tuk doom is the word, the noun meaning plenty, and tukdim I'm understanding as a genitive singular with the em ending, to pile up that which would be of abundance and of plenty. And then mu shak lil in the line 57, that is to bring to full. And here, notice we have a sheen participle with the infix sha and the prefix mu, that is to bring to full. And this is from the root kalaulu, meaning to bring to full. And it's a masculine singular sheen participle. To bring to full, mima shum shu, literally all that belongs to, or all its name would be literally shumu, meaning name, and shu, the pronominal suffix, third masculine singular. So everything that belongs to, regarding to Nippur. And Nippur Duranki. Interesting here too, ana is the preposition. And notice we have Nippur, and which was the cult center of Elil, whose temple was then in Ikur. It's the Sumerian name of Nippur. By the way, the Sumerian name of Nippur was Duranki. And we see Ana, capital D-U-R, period, capital A-N, period, capital K-I. And that means literally the bond of heaven and earth. It's a time-honored Sumerian name of Nippur, the cult center of Elil, the worship of Elil, whose temple also was in Ekkor. And this can be found in ancient Near Eastern text on page 164. And then Hammurapi goes on, Xani Xani Num, the provisioner, a noun, nominative singular, the provisioner, that is the one that's providing, and he's the attentive, giving attention to providing. So the provisioner, the attentive provisioner. And here we have na adu becoming na dum. The attentive provisioner, 62, Sha Ekkor, of Ekkor, taking care of the temple of Enlil, which was in Nippur. And so he said, I've been a provider, an attentive provider of that temple. And then he goes on, Sharum, and by the way, Lugal, Lugal, is the Sumerian for king. The Akkadian is Sharum, that is the king, and literally Lugal, capital Lu, capital Gal, means big man, or the king. The king, the competent king. And notice Leum means the competent. So the competent king, and here we have Sharum is nominative singular with the ending, and Leum is the adjective meaning competent. The competent king, Muter is a D participle, in my understanding, of taru, meaning to restore. So the competent king who restores, and now we have Uri Erida, capital Erida, the Sumerian, the Akkadian, then Urida, and Nun Ki is the Sumerian city here, when you put this together, of Ea, or Enki. And so he's going to restore that capital city, that Sumerian city of Ea, Anna Ashrishu, to its place. And notice, Anna is the preposition to, and it takes the genitive in Ashri, to the place, it, of it. So shu is your pronominal suffix, third masculine singular. So when we look at this as a whole, then I tried to break down every word, every grammatical point in some of the previous videos, and in this video as well. I'm going to read the translation given in the ancient Near Eastern text that puts it into good readable English. I've been going through every word grammatically from the normalization of Borger. I read the Akkadian, and then I work from the normalization and do my own transliteration, then using dictionary to come up with vocabulary. So the way it's translated here, and I believe by Meek in the ancient Near Eastern text on page 164. When lofty Anu, king of the Ananuki, and Enlil, Lord of heaven and earth, the determiner of the destinies of the land, determined for Marduk, the firstborn son of Enki, the Enlil functions over all mankind. made him great among the Agigi, called Babylon by its exalted name, made it supreme in the world, established for him in its midst an enduring kingship, whose foundations are as firm as heaven and earth. At that time, Anum and Enlil named me to promote the welfare of the people. Me, Hammurapi, the devout, God-fearing prince, to cause justice to prevail in the land, to destroy the wicked and the evil, that the strong might not oppress the weak, to rise like the sun over the black-headed people, and to light up the land, the one who makes affluence and plenty abound, who provides in abundance all sorts of things for Nippur Duranki, the devout patron of Ikor, Hammurabi's claiming, the efficient king who restored Eridu to its place. So that would be a smooth translation that is given in ancient Near Eastern text. And that's the first part of the prologue of the Hammurapi's code. And so I'm going to stop there. What I would like to do is to continue as time allows to go to the second part, and that would be, he goes on to talk about purifying the cult of Abzu, and making the name of Babylon great, who rejoices the heart of Marduk, and so forth. So he's talking about all that he's doing to help make Marduk happy. And we had already said in a previous video, just to review, that Anu is the sky god, supreme god of the pantheon, spouse of Antu, father of Adad, Enlil, Ishtar, and Nisaba, and his temple, the temple of Anu, was Uruk, U-R-U-K. And we talked about Enlil early on as the storm god, the lord of the wind, the chief god of the Sumerian pantheon, city of god of Nippur, and he was the son of Anu, and conferred Elilship onto other gods, as did Anu. All of this is coming from ancient Near Eastern texts, and that's page 50 of that work. Marduk was the patron god of Babylon. In the creation epic, he reorganizes the cosmos, placing Babylon at the world's center. Again, this is on page 58. Ea, also Enki, was the father of Marduk, god of wisdom, associated again with water creation, patron of artisans, protector of the persecuted. And the Gigu were a collective name for the major gods of heaven, and Bel was a title of various gods, later synonymous with Marduk, and Shamash was the Babylonian sun god, probably a goddess patronized or patron of truth and justice. And so basically those are some of the ones that are mentioned, the gods that are mentioned in this first part of Hammurapi's, the prologue of Hammurapi. So what I'd like to encourage anyone to do is to find a transliteration, and one can find that in different places, I believe, on Google that's public domain. And then follow me in terms, if you would so like, the normalization that we have suggested, and our own literal word-by-word translation with grammar, more of a word-by-word grammatical analysis going back to the Akkadian grammar. So it's clearly an inductive Akkadian grammar. There are many wonderful other works in Akkadian. I really enjoyed, some of the other works that I have read that I appreciated a lot. But let me just stop here, and we'll pick it up from here next time. Thank you very much.